What?
I don't really have any injuries. My ankle's a little swollen from me kicking him the first round. Landed a couple shin on shin and one with my foot that I knew I was going to be feeling after. The cage got me pretty good, took a chunk out of my forehead. But other than that, I don't remember him. He hit me one time in my eyeball, I think. I don't remember anything else.
Satisfied with your performance tonight?
No, because I want to finish, but I got to be happy with the win at this level. He was number 6, tough dude. I felt like we both left it all out there, like I was extremely exhausted out after that fight. He was really strong in the grappling. He just felt like he grabbed me and I was not going to get away from his grasp. And I put a lot of energy into trying to get away, and we went at it.
How many stitches did you have to get in your forehead?
You can't stitch it. It's a big chunk, a big hole.
Really?
Yeah.
People are saying, and I think it's true, that was one of the best UFC flyweight fights we've ever seen. When you were in there, do you feel that way? Like, I'm in a great fight, or is it just, I just gotta still win, or?
It's just fighting your ass off. I mean, I was just trying to hit him. I was tired. The grappling got me tired pretty quick because I was just trying to grapple him so hard. He was so strong that I had to use a lot of strength to try to, combat him with that. And I just remember after the first round thinking like, damn, I gotta put him out. I don't want to go 2 more rounds.
So what was the game plan going into?
Game plan was just stay on our feet, stay on our feet. I knew we could outclass him on the feet, and I knew he was going to get a hold of me eventually because I like to throw, and if somebody just wants to grapple you, they might get a couple chances. I'm going to plant my feet and I'm going to throw all the time. So, I planned on going for a couple takedowns myself, but once I'm in there fighting, I'm just trying to kill somebody with my hands. So sometimes it don't happen as you game plan it all the time, I guess.
There seemed to be a lot of mutual respect between you two during the fight week. Do you like being able to just go into a fight, not having all that extra drama that some fighters try to bring into it, and just being able to go in and test yourselves?
Well, me and Wilson are I don't want to say great friends, but we know each other. I've trained at Alliance. I feel real like, that was almost. I wish I could have went back and trained with them a lot more. I went for Dominic Cruz's camps before, and I've trained with Wilson. So he was a friend of mine. We didn't really want to fight each other. They've offered us to fight each other multiple times that we both turned it down, and I couldn't turn down a hometown fight, and they told him he couldn't turn down no more fights unless he was injured. So we talked about it beforehand. We said, hey, it's just business. Whatever happens, we're gonna be cool after. We were cool before. It's a lot of respect between us.
And how special was this win? How much did the crowd kind of fuel you? You had a great pop at the weigh-ins yesterday. I'm sure you got it as you walked out tonight as well.
Yeah. For the first time when I was in the cage and they announced Phoenix, and I think at some point, I don't know if the crowd started cheering or what, but I kind of went nuts a little bit before we started fighting. When I was in the cage, I remember kind of screaming a little bit, just getting myself amped, and I felt that. But I don't register that stuff when I'm in there, so I don't really remember hearing the crowd screaming during the fight or anything. But afterward was great,
There's a huge wrestling component to this fight. Did you go back to your time at ASU with the wrestling you had to do there?
Yeah, I think it's just more of a mind state. You don't have that split second in the cage you got to wrestle right away. Instead of before, I think I was learning jiu-jitsu, so my mind state was go to jiu-jitsu, and I had to put the mind state to we got to wrestle hard right away. We don't want to be on bottom because he was a strong grappler. He's might be a black belt or something, and just a stocky guy. And I knew, if we get on bottom, we didn't want to waste time down there. I don't feel like I'll get, I feel like my skills are good enough where I'm not going to get submitted or beat up, but when you lose a lot of time, that's the only thing that made this fight close. He stayed on top of me a little bit. Other than that, I don't really feel like he did anything. He got one good little slam maybe, but didn't hurt or nothing, so I don't really feel like he hurt me or anything, but he took me down a few times, and you know, that was expected. I knew I was going to get up. I told people before the fight, you know, don't be surprised if I take him down and try to beat him up. And a couple times I remember, I think I did get on top of him, and I was like, look, I'm gonna try to beat you up here too. And I think I beat him up more on the ground than he did the whole time he was on me. You know, he got a couple little baby punches, but I remember landing a couple elbows maybe.
I believe you brought them before to your fights, but how special was it to be able to bring your kids to the weigh-in and have them here during this whole fight process with you?
It's you know, hopefully something they'll remember forever. So it's special to me. It's kind of been tradition. My oldest has come to all the weigh-ins. They both came to the last Phoenix fight, and then they were both able to come to this one. And that's what it's all about to me, man. My kids are my world.
Does it help keep you focused having them there?
You know, I'm focused no matter what, but it's definitely inside myself, you know, definitely a good feeling, I would say. Good spirits.
So I assume you're going to head home with the boys instead of partying?
I'm going to go see them. They go to bed, and then I have a good friend that's going to throw me an after party, and I'm going to show up for him, and so we're going to do that a little bit tonight.
Was there any difference in your preparation this fight as opposed to your last Phoenix fight, just knowing what you had to do? I mean, we talked about the difference between when you have to travel and when you don't. So
yeah, my last Phoenix fight, let me tell you what, I was not training at all. I had a serious injury. I had no training for September to end of December, so 3 months, and I was off for a year. I came back for camp in June. I trained for camp 6 weeks, fought, lost a split decision. I was rusty, but I was, you know, broke. I had to fight, and that was my opportunity to fight. I came out of that fight. I was just burning desire to go train and do what I did. I was in the training room for about 2 months, and I completely tore the ligament in my elbow. So I did absolutely nothing for that fight, and then 18 days notice, they offered me the fight in my hometown. I couldn't turn it down. I was completely out of shape. Anytime you saw me try to wrestle Sergio Pettis was just to get him thinking, don't think I couldn't take you down, because he keeps posting highlights and shit. So I see that shit. What's up, Sergio? Let's do this again. Let me get some time, or you jump in on short notice with me, because most of these people couldn't have done that. So that gets me a little bit boiling when I see that, but I don't like to make excuses and nothing, but there was no preparation for that last Phoenix fight. I had nothing. I came in here and I was tired. I went 3 rounds with one of the best off no training. So that's what it was. No excuses, but that's what it was.
Over your last 3 fights, you've really proved, I think, to most of the world that you are a top 5 guy. When do you think you'll get a shot at Demetrius? And if you do get that shot soon, how do you think it'll be different?
I'm not worried about getting a shot till I can have my stock built to get paid like I'm getting a shot. You know what I'm saying? I fought Demetrius for $17,000 last time, and I just want to get, like, he's a tough fight. You know what I'm saying? He snapped my other ligament in my elbow the first time I fought him. So this is real to me. So I want to build my stock. Put me back down to some of these contenders. I don't care about taking some. I don't care. You know, I see. This is why I hate doing interviews. I shouldn't even be talking like this. But I just want to get a couple more wins and build my stock. If people want to see me fight, you know, let me get paid for it. Let me make it worth some while. You know, if I do that, then I deserve my title shot, and I'll worry about it then. But right now, I'm not really worried about it. So,
as far as your skills go, I mean, I think over the last 3 or 4 fights, you've shown that on your feet, you've become one of the most dangerous guys in the league. Do you accredit that to anything different that you've been doing?
You know, I got a lot of experience in the UFC. I didn't have very many tough fights before the UFC. So a lot of my tough fights, I kind of had to learn by those losses. And I've been working with a new boxing coach for about a year and a half. I feel like that's put my game up a whole nother level. I put a lot of focus into my jiu-jitsu, and I feel like that's just taken a whole nother level, you know, and I'm still planning on improving on that. You know, I feel like I can wrestle if I wanted to, and I feel like, you know, overall I'm getting more well-rounded, but you know, I feel like, yeah, it's gonna definitely be different the next time I fight him. I still feel like I gave him a good fight, and I still feel like if I would have fought a little bit smarter that night, I could have made things happen. But things happen for a reason. You know, I've definitely grown because of that loss. So the next time I fight him, of course, I see a different outcome.
So next for you want Sergio again?
And I shouldn't have called him out because I was hoping somebody would pull out of my fight so he could jump in on short notice, and then we could see what he does on short notice. But yeah, I'll take that fight again. But whoever they give me, man. Couple fools keep calling me out, saying my name, so I'm not trying to get like, I feel like it's bad karma if I say their name and call them out, so I try to stay away from that. But you guys have my blood boiling for a second.
And what's it like when you, same thing with the last time you were here, but when you have teammates here also training on the same time, and also having your coaches all around, what's it like having the MMA lab out here?
Oh man, you know, straight up, man, I couldn't do what I do without my team. My team is straight up the best team I feel in the world. Every camp that I have, every fight that I have, it's like new training partners stepping up and helping me prepare, and I'm not gonna get that anywhere else. Like, for reals, I love them to death. Man, my team is, I wouldn't be able to do what I do without my team. I'm nothing without them. First of all, I'm nothing without God, but I'm nothing without my team.
Thank you.
Thank you.